Hi, I'm Ed and this is Ann, and welcome to our big Italian adventure. We're an American couple who's always had a dream to own a house in Italy. Recently, when our kids were grown, we've been able to realize that dream. We have a small farmhouse in the region of Le Marche. Le Marche is in central Italy on the east side of the mountains, over by the Adriatic Sea. Anne likes to say it's on the calf of the boot if you think about the shape of Italy. If you've never heard of it, don't feel bad. Of all the people we've ever talked to about it, only 2 people had ever even heard of Le Marche.
We don't live there full time, at least not yet, but we do try to spend about half of our time traveling, living, and exploring everything Italy has to offer. And we're going to document all those adventures on this channel. We hope you'll join us on our journey.
We fell in love with Italy on our first trip about 30 years ago. Originally, sort of ironically, we were supposed to go to Spain on this trip, but we couldn't get affordable tickets, so we ended up in Italy. This trip really focused on Florence and the areas around it and the Amalfi Coast, working off Positano.
You see that picture of Positano over our fireplace? We bought that picture on our very first trip to Italy, and we treasure it as much now as we did then.
We were really smitten on this first trip by the food, the art, the culture, the melodic language, but most of all the people. And we vowed to go back as often as we could. And during the next few years, we made 3 trips to different parts of Italy, exploring and learning and experiencing what it has to offer. Then we had kids and I had a business to run, and we weren't able to go for a long time, and we had a hiatus.
One winter day a few years ago, Ed said out of the blue,
"The euro is really low. If we're ever going to do something about Italy, we should do it now."
and from there ensued a discussion about how you only live once, we're not getting any younger, and at the end of that we said, what the hell, let's do it. Let's buy a house in Italy. So we spent about a month researching and combing the internet for places to live, houses to buy, and within about 4 to 5 weeks, Ed was on a plane to Italy to do a little reconnaissance.
Really to do more than a little reconnaissance. I visited 39 houses across 4 regions in central Italy: Tuscany, Umbria, Abruzzo, and Marche. I worked with 9 different agents, and certainly on that trip I learned a lot about the way the Italian real estate market works. One of the particular things I learned is that the photos they take really lie. The house might look good from the angles they took or look good inside, but on the outside there may be a busy road right outside, or an electric pylon in the backyard, or a factory right next door. I came back from this trip not having found anything. There was one house out of the 39 that was a possibility, but we would have needed to do a lot of work. But I came back convinced that for me, Marche was the place we should look. And I was able to convince Anne that it's where we should focus. And the reasons were that first, it felt like authentic Italy. It looks a lot like Tuscany with the hills and the green, but it's a lot less expensive and a lot less touristy. It's also between the mountains and the sea, which makes it good for a couple of the things that we like. We like to hike, and one of us likes to go to the beach. It was a little frustrating to have not found anything on that trip, but we came back and started looking again so we could be prepared for the next time we could go.
The next summer we returned with our daughter, and together with our real estate agent Kevin, we saw 10 houses. A lot of them were very charming, but they all had issues. Either they had small, chopped up rooms, convoluted floor plan, or maybe they had too little property, and in some cases they had too much property. So we were getting really frustrated because we really wanted to find something on that trip.
And then Kevin said to us, I got a new idea. What if you build a house? Then you can get exactly what you want. That seemed like a great idea to us, so we started looking at properties. Kevin showed us one that was very appealing. It was out in the country. It was about 1 acre in size, which we liked. There were some olive trees, a cherry tree, and a fig tree. We did notice that there was no road to the property, which we thought might be a problem. It had an amazing view, and the price was right. When we looked at buying a house compared to buying this property and building a house, it came out to just about the same. So we felt like there'd be a lot of advantages if we went forward with that plan.
To make a long story short, we put in an offer, and within 4 months, construction was underway. It only took 15 months from beginning to end to build the house. This absolutely amazes us even now when we think about it. I don't think even in the United States you could build a house that fast. And in Italy, that would be absolutely unheard of.
I'd say we were able to do that for 2 reasons. One is we developed the house really on a parallel path where we were doing multiple things at once. We needed to get approval from the local government to be able to build the house that we wanted at the size and to have a pool. So while we were trying to get approval for that, we went deep into the design details of the house. So that by the time we got the preliminary approval for the house and felt comfortable going forward, we had most of it designed and ready to go.
Second, we were able to keep the project moving because we had a really committed and talented and proactive team working on the house, led by an amazing project manager. And I also think that Ed and I, we played a part in that moving the project along, because we were constantly getting emails almost on a daily basis asking us for feedback or approvals on certain decisions that had to be made about the house and what was going in it. And we were very good about responding within 1 to 2 days to give feedback and to make a decision. And so that kept the project moving without it getting stalled, at least not through fault of ours.
If you're thinking of having a house in Italy, or if you've already done the building or the buying, please let us know in the comments. We'd be very excited to hear more about your story. And certainly if you have any questions about this whole process, put them in the comments as well, and we'll respond to you right away.
In our next video, we'll talk more about designing and building our house. We hope you'll join us. Ciao for now.
A presto!